Yo, what's happening, people? Hey, listen, I will tell you, right? During any of these festivals, there is a moment where you just crash. You feel like shit. And today is that moment. God damn. Boy, yeah. Just feel drained as a motherfucker. But you know what? Show has to go on, and yeah, just back from the French Dispatch, which new film from Wes Anderson. And Wes Anderson has got that unique kind of style, right? Everything is always going to be quirky and weird, and you're just kind of, how quirky is it going to be? So yeah, I've been looking forward to this film for a while. So yeah, this was the opportunity to take a look. Probably not the best day, to be honest with you. So Anderson, he wrote and directed it from a story he conceived with Roman Coppola, Hugo Guinness, and Jason Schwartzman. Anderson also produces along with Jeremy Dawson and Steve Rolls. We've got cinematography from Robert Yaman. It's edited by Andrew Westblum. Music is Alexandra Disblat. Um, and our cast is pretty pretty big, pretty big people. We have Bill Murray as Arthur Holowitzer Jr. He's the editor of the French Dispatch. We've got Owen Wilson as Herbesant Sazerac. He's a travel writer. Um, Elizabeth Elizabeth Moss. She's a Luma, a copy editor. Jason Schwartzman is Hermes Jones, a cartoonist. Fisher Stevens, she's a staff member. We have Griffin Dune, another staff member, and Wally Wolondowski, another staff member. We've got Angelica Bette Fellini, she's a proofreader. Angelica Houston, she's the narrator. Jarvis Cocker, the voice of Tip Top, a French singer. We got Tilda Swinton as JKL Brenston. She's a writer. Bel, Bel, Benicio del Toro is Moses Rosenfalla. He is an incarcerated artist. Tony Revolori plays the younger Moses. Adrian Brody is Julian Cadazio, an art dealer. We got Leah Seydoux as Simone, a prison guard. Louise Smith, an Upsua Moi Clampett, an art collector. Henry Winkler is Uncle Joe. Bob Balaban is Uncle Nick. Dennis Merchant is a prison guard. Frances McDermott is Lucinda Kremetz, a journalist. Timothy Chalamet is Zeffirelli, a student. Lena Kuduri is Juliet. Alex Luafa is Maurice Mott. Um, yeah, I mean, we got a few more people. We've got a few more people like Jeffrey Wright, as Roebuck Wright, a food journalist. Um, yeah, you know, Edward Norton's in it. You know, William Dafoe, Saoirse Ronan. You know, it's a fat ass cast. You know what I mean? It's a fat ass cast. So, what is the story? Okay, so yeah, let's get into that, shall we? Okay. Um do. French Dispatch is a highbrow magazine based in the imagined Gaelic town of Blaise-sur-Ennui. It's reached its end. Its founder has died, and his beloved creation looks set to shut down operations. In doing so, its staff reflect nostalgically on the publication's halcyon days, when the writers were as celebrated as the subjects they covered. There's the art critic Tilda Swinton, who regales with the story of a jailed painter's obsession with his muse, a political correspondent um, whose current affairs once included a young insurgent during a student protest, and the food, bleh, rarefied food critic who becomes quite the pot au feu when he finds himself caught up in a kidnapping plot. So yeah, there you go. Now I think this is kind of based on the New Yorker because Anderson supposedly loves that, right? So he framed it around three stories, two of them based on stories that he's read, but obviously he changed, right? He took the idea and then adapted it to work for him, right? So yeah, there you go with all of that, people. Now, like with Anderson stuff, there's always this certain look to it, and this does have this kind of, yeah, unique kind of feel and look, right? Now we start off with Bill Murray's character talking about the magazine. um well, no, it's not him talking, it's the narrator talking about the magazine, and just the quirks of him, right? And the fact that if he dies, then this is what happens, right? And it went into this whole thing, like how it would be published, and then what would happen. Just this whole protocol was laid out for us, right? We then see Bill Murray, the editor, and they're putting this thing together, and you could see that, yeah, he's love for the magazine and the staff and everything like that, because someone's just like, we need to cut a story. It's going to be too big. He's just like, hey, we're not cutting a story. Find more paper, right? So I think that tells you something. We see Owen Wilson on a pedal bike cycling through the city talking, and there's always a lot happening, right, in these scenes that we often see in an Anderson film, right? Sometimes it's a lot that is a peripheral of, like, the story. Sometimes it's just kind of an add-on, right? Sometimes it's something that might crop up later, but there's always this feast for the eyes. So yeah, we've got all of this different stuff happening, and it's interesting. I'm digging it. Right now, when we get to our prison story, that's where it became a little problematic for me. I mean, there were some other places as well, because what I did not realize, subtitles. There's subtitles in the film, and I will give them credit for the fact that they tried to do something different with the subtitles. So they weren't just always along the bottom of the screen; they'd appear in different places. Which I thought, that's playing around with it. That's nice, but god damn, now I can never see subtitles just in general, but these looked like they were even smaller than normal, right? And it was just it was frustrating, because like there's times when you watch something and there's subtitles, but you can kind of make out what's happened from what we're seeing on the screen, and different stuff like that. But it is a very stoic, like some of the moments were very stoic. So there wasn't really the facial expressions. You couldn't really gauge it. And although then something got said in English, you knew there was more with the subtitles, because everyone's laughing and just all of this. And it's just like, for fuck's sake. Like, why do there have to be subtitles? So that just really just it threw me out of the film, right? I ain't gonna lie. And I think maybe on another day, when I was feeling more lively and energetic, it might have been fine. But today, it just, yeah, it threw me out, and I just couldn't, I struggled to concentrate. And especially because the film is jumping around a lot, right? The film's jumping around, and that happens, and it's just, yeah, it became very difficult to concentrate, which is so frustrating. I mean, so frustrating. I kind of feel that, yeah, I will have to give this a watch on the small screen, because then I can at least pause, read the subtitles, and move on, you know. But yeah. Now, there's a really fun part of the film where it becomes an animation, right? Which you don't expect. It's just like, what? Yeah, and then they do some funny things with physics and the characters and stuff like that in it, which is, yeah, that was fun. You know, so there is a lot happening. There's a lot happening. We have just everyone's giving very good performances. It looks good. Yeah. So I do feel, if you're a fan of Anderson, you I think chances are you will dig this. I think it just, yeah, it's just the motherfucking subtitles, man. Because I don't believe there was subtitles in like Grand Hotel Buta, Buta, the Grand Hotel Bucharest. That for fuck's sake, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Ugh, it's one of those days, man. But as Monica said, don't take it personal. You feel me? Um, yeah, shit happens. Shit happens. But people, if you want to check out the French Dispatch, it will be playing tomorrow, Monday the 11th. So this time it's midday, right? It's 2:45, 2:45. So that's at the Royal Festival Hall on the South Bank. Then for Wednesday the 13th, right? Another midday, 3 o'clock at the BFI South Bank. NFT1. And then on the last day, the 17th of October, it's a midday, but it's a Saturday, so it's Sunday, so it doesn't matter. So again, it's at 2:45, quarter to 3, and it's at the Royal Festival Hall. Now, as of right now, every one of these screenings is sold out, but you know this deal, people. There are often returns and all of that. So check on the day because you never know what's gonna happen. Right? Never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, there you go. The French Dispatch, it's another, Wes Anderson affair, right? Wes Anderson do his thing. It's lavish. It's, it's just epic in scale. It's huge, sprawling. Um, a lot of people all doing their thing. So yeah, I mean, yeah, as I said, look, it's hard for me to judge because of just the subtitles, man. The subtitles just threw me. Subtitles threw me. Uh, but as I said, look, if you're a fan of Anderson, I'd say give it a shot. You know what I mean? I'd say give it a shot because the stuff that I could enjoy, I did enjoy, you know? But it was just, everything just changes when you get thrown out of stuff, right? So it's harder to concentrate. And then there's a couple on just the lack of sleep and everything like that just crashing down on you like a motherfucking sledgehammer. So yeah, but hey. Hey, go check it out. You know what I mean? Go check it out. Everyone else in the screen seemed to really enjoy it. So yeah, there you go. The French Dispatch.